The screams of mothers are heard arising to the midday sun as a sacrifice. Yes, sacrifices of pain offered from a heart filled with sorrow, offered to a God who no longer interferes in the realm of men. Fathers are seen with folded arms, eyes bloodshot with tears, rivers of grief running down their cheeks like they were a group of little boys. Alas, unto tragedy alone is given the power to break a man. Yet as I stare at this rubble that lies before us, an irritating scar on the streetscape of this busy Lagos Island street, my mind begins to ponder on the uncertain and ever-changing nature of life. For only moments ago, this rubble stood 3 stories high, proud and defiant. And although it showed clear signs of sag and structural default, it stood. Although it was marked for demolition by the state government 5 years ago, it stood. And even though the primary school housed within it felt the earth quake beneath their feet more times than they could remember, each time pleading with the landlord to renovate the building, it still stood. Now all that it is just a rubble of concrete, stones and metal rods. And as the bodies of children are brought forth, dug out of this rubble and heaped one upon another like they were a stack of cut-short dreams, a woman is heard screaming somewhere to my left. She screams from the bottom of her soul, for the bodies of her twins lie lifeless before her. She's begging to die. A man lost all his 5 children today. He sits on the ground, mute, distant and alone. The demon of suicide replaced the memories of their faces on the screen of his mind. Shatters of a broken heart can be seen floating in the rivers of tears gathered at his feet. In the midst of all this chaos, I stand speechless, for no poem can comfort the aggrieved here today. Still, I wonder, in which detail lies the fault of this tragedy, and on whose head sits the thorny crown of blame? Could it be the architect, who designed a beautiful structure, but never followed through to ensure that the structure was constructed according to the standard of his design? Could it be the civil engineer, who in order to cut costs used inferior materials and unskilled labor to construct a building that was perfect on paper? Could it be the landlord, who repainted a building that was marked for demolition just so he could deceive unsuspecting prospective tenants? Could it be the government, who allowed a building marked for demolition to stand for 5 extra years because some palms had been greased just so some eyes could look the other way? Could it be the tenants of the building, who due to poverty remained in the building, praying with each rising of the sun that the building will stand for just one more day? Just one more day. Or could it be our usual customer of blame, the devil, that notorious character who is even responsible for the bad state of our roads? No, not this time. Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, the fault lies in our hands. Yes, we, the members of society who continually refuse to ask for accountability from those of us who know not the priceless value of a life. For indeed, Saul had killed his thousands, and David his 10,000s. But the lack of accountability and the mentality of no consequences has killed millions of our countrymen, tearing holes of despair through their families and forever stealing the light of joy from their homes. For you see, the darkness of grief never fully clears away. It's forever etched in the innermost caves of the mind. And so on this pristine day, I count myself honored to stand before the great minds behind the designs of various forms and structures in our society, earnestly pleading that we all join hands together and fight against this mentality of no consequences that plagues our great nation. And just in case you did not connect with any line of my poem thus far, I ask that you please connect with this one. Let not the divine creations of your imaginations be turned to traps of Hades by those who know not the understanding of the nobility of your profession. Let not the virtuous way of the architect be stained with the blood of victims of collapsed buildings, victims whose names you will never know. For beam by beam, a house stands, a testament to the magnificent design of the architect. But if the foundation be faulty, I ask, indeed, what can the righteous do? Thank you.